Hey guys, welcome back! It's Mossy. And we're doing the Rising 2020 event. Oh, that's really nice. Centerpiece of this year's Rising's festivities, the work of art courtesy of Jabon Ia, who hopes to foster goodwill among the citizens of Ul'dah. This song's so good! I think it's called End of an Era from the cinematic. From the Realm Reborn cinematic. Hello there! Would I be correct in assuming you've come to view my exhibition? Yes. And to listen to this song over and over. You see, oh, it's gone. I'm an artist by trade and my chosen medium is stained glass. While it's not the easiest thing to work with, the results are worth the considerable effort required. It's taken me a while to reach this point in my career, and this is actually my first public showing. I was wondering if it's not too much of a bother if I might give you a brief explanation of the subject matter. Sure. Yeah, that doesn't look like stained glass behind them there. And pray, my good fellow, cast your eyes on yonder pane. Panel? Pane? Yeah, it's not stained glass, dude. That is way too... I don't know. There's too much shading for it to be stained glass. 'Twas the final days before the fall of Dalamud. Its inexorable approach for telling our impending doom. Panic spread like wildfire, while many in their desperation turned onto the Sultanate. Looting and rioting broke out across Ul'dah. To quell the masses, Her Royal Majesty Nanama Ul'Namo took to the streets with a guard consisting of only 7 subjects, for they alone had the courage to stand with their Sultana. There she addressed the rabble. Heed me, my beloved citizens. The realm lies upon the brink of the 7th Umbral Era. Yet so long as we live, we must not forget our compassion. Now is not the time to take from your neighbor, but to proffer him the hand of succor. He was determined not to let the city that the immortal flames were risking their lives to defend tear itself apart in their absence. Her words brought the people to their senses. They laid down their arms and set about healing the wounds they themselves had inflicted upon Ul'dah. Thanks to Her Majesty's impassioned speech, those who returned from the battlefield found their home much as they had left it, gleaming jewel in this desert. It all seems so long ago. To see the place today, you'd think that the people had entirely forgotten their words to that day. The same hands that were once proffered in succor now grasp greedily at every last coin, even if it means one's fellow man must go hungry. It's times like these that we must remind ourselves of the sacrifices of those who came before us, which is why the Rising Festival is such a profound importance. I draw inspiration from Her Majesty's deeds all those years ago, and through my work, perhaps others might do the same. Dear me, I'd better stop before I'm overcome with emotion. There are, in fact, matters to which I must yet attend, and if I'm not mistaken, you are an adventurer, yes? Of something you might be able to help me with, if you're willing. In addition to having my stained glass on display, it's been arranged that a wandering minstrel give a recital as part of the festivities. I wonder who that is. I'm looking to gather as many spectators as possible, but I fear I struggle to cover the necessary ground myself. Perhaps you could give me a hand? Yeah, sure, why not? Well, bless you, sir. I plan to hand out these flyers, and with 2 of us, we'll be able to reach twice the number of people in the same span of time. If you'd be so kind as to look for potential attendees around the steps of Thal, I'll head for the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Let's meet there when you're done. But yeah, after I think I got to Limsa at one point once the Rising 2020 thing hit, and at the right outside of the aft castle, you could hear the song like on loop. So I just AFK'd there for like an hour, just listening. Song's so good, you guys. Let's go to the Weavers Guild. But yeah. Other than that, how are you all doing? For me, I've been Oh, haven't been dungeoning a lot ever since I hit level 80 for all the characters, other than doing the roulettes and stuff. I have been doing a lot of triple triad stuff to update my deck against the NPCs and hopefully go on the champion thing in the Gold Saucer. I think it's the Weaver's Guild, right? But yeah, triple triad's a ton of fun. I'm understanding the rules for the plus and the chaos and the reverse. That was really confusing at first, but now I'm slowly getting it. Same was also pretty difficult to understand at first. Even though people are like, no, it's really simple if you really think about it. But no, like plus was absolutely difficult. So difficult, like beyond my head at the time. For like at least 30 games. I did not read what she said. Whoops, it's fine. Other than that, I still gotta do the sapphire weapon, if that's what it's called. I gotta do that, and I gotta do the level 80 quest for all the class roles. Got something you want digging up? Noticeably dusty citizen. Can't say I'm much of an expert when it comes to music and fine art, but it ain't often a bloke like me gets a chance to sample the high life. I'd be a fool to miss it. I guess we'll just run around here. But yeah, like, I haven't been, I've been relaxing a lot, in terms of progression stuff. Oh, it's here too. Yes. That does sound rather intriguing. It's the same minstrel my associates have been mentioned on occasion. I'd best go see what all the fuss is about. I hear he's rather talented. If you don't know, the Wandering Minstrel of Final Fantasy XIV is Yoshi P, who is also the director of the game? Hold on, I might be wrong. All I know is his name. I actually don't know what his actual job is. Yoshi P, Naoki Yoshida, nicknamed Yoshi P, is the Japanese video game producer, director, and designer working for Square Enix. Alright, cool. So yeah, he's also in all the live letters for most of the major updates for the game. If you watch any of those videos on YouTube under the Square Enix channel, either the Square Enix channel or the Final Fantasy XIV main channel. All done, much appreciated, but I'm afraid I've run into a bit of a problem. I was in the process of handing a flyer to this gentleman when my friend Astin showed up out of the blue. As chance would have it, these two chaps are previously acquainted, though they do not appear to be on particularly good terms. Uh-oh. Drama. But how am I supposed to pay you back if the amount keeps going up? You coughed up the money on the day we originally agreed. There wouldn't be so much of an interest to pay. You've only got yourself to blame. Oh, he's a loan shark. But Astin, if your interest rates weren't so high, perhaps he would have been able to pay you back by now. I'm not saying you should wipe the slate clean, but surely you can come up to a compromise. All I want is for him to honor our agreement. What's wrong with that? Besides, I've held up my side of the bargain, so why do I have to be the one to compromise? Okay, but let's say I give you the benefit of the doubt, but you genuinely lack the means to pay me back. I'll grant you 1 week's extension, but if you still don't have the money by then, there'll be consequences. Am I gonna have to pay for this? Only a week? Alright, you damn vulture, you'll get your gil. I'll be rid of you for good. Got some shady friends, my dude. Sad to say that such incidents are part of everyday life in Ul'dah. Someone in financial difficulty sees a moneylender as the answer to their woes, like an oasis in the desert, but it's only a mirage, an illusion of salvation leading them to even greater debt. And again, my debtors will borrow money without any intention of paying it back, relying on an endless stream of short-term solutions. I hope those who look upon my art will remember the words of the Sultana and seek to help rather than to exploit one another. Those two chaps you saw arguing just now would benefit from it, I'm sure. You know, Astin wasn't always like that. He'd pick me up when I was down more times than I can count. We both grew up on the streets of Ul'dah with no one to turn to but each other. The only reason I'm even here today, making a living as an artist of all things, is because of Astin and his talent for business. With a few words and a couple of handshakes, he could turn a gill into a gold mine. But as the years passed, it became an obsession. No matter how much coin he made, it was never enough. I wish he'd realize that there's more to life than personal gain. Nothing I say gets through to him. That's part of the reason why I turned to stained glass art in the first place. What? It can express my inner thoughts far better than words ever could. Stained glass? Why stained glass though? That's like the most difficult. Well, my words at any rate. Oh goodness, I do apologize. You must think I'm an awful bore to rope you into helping only to bombard you with complaints and sob stories. But enough of that. It's high time I returned to the exhibition and prepared for the arrival of the Minstrel. Yoshi P is gonna grant us his presence. Oh, here. Okay. Distance. Probably the Adventures Gold or the main Aetheryte thing. They'll probably load me up faster here because there's not a lot of people. That's my logic for teleporting over here. There you are. I hate to say it, but we've run into a slight problem. And by slight problem, I actually mean rather a huge catastrophe. So huge, in fact, that the painting is missing, isn't it? So huge, in fact, I need a moment to compose myself. While I'm loath to impose on you any further, I have a feeling I may need your help again, or at least some moral support. The painting is missing! Oh! Oh! Tia's heart is not the only thing that is broken. Alright, enough panicking. It's time for decisive action. While we were out distributing flyers, these children were a little overzealous when it came to admiring my work. Oh no. It seems they were unaware of the look but don't touch rule that normally applies to these things, and well, it fell on the floor and shattered. Oh. Shit. Suggest staging a play based on the same scene. I'll be Nanamo. I mean, I have the height. Not the first thought that crossed my mind, I must admit. Recital is due to begin any moment now, so the only viable option is to repair the smashed pane as best we can. I think that with a little adhesive here and there, the spectators will hardly notice the cracks. Unfortunately, I don't have any to hand at present. While I run off to fetch some bonding agent from the Alchemist Guild, perhaps you could try piecing the broken glass back together. What? Don't worry, I'll show you how it's done. I'm gonna make a... Is it puzzle? Like actual puzzle? Following controls can be used to repair the stained glass default settings. The mouse. Alright. Oh. That's pretty neat. I think she was here. This guy was over here. This looks to be where Okay. This is a side. This is a side piece. He's over here. Nope. He's over here? Nope. He's over here. Okay, cool. And this guy is over here. 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 Oh. Nope. Almost there. Dear. Okay, we're almost there. This is kind of neat. Oh, this is a tiny piece. Hey, there goes. Now this is actually stained glass. This is the stained glass I'm more used to. No, that's not. God damn it. That's not how glue works. Nice. Yes, that's perfect. With a few dabs of adhesive, it'll be as good as new. Well, almost. It should certainly suffice for the time being, though. Just children. Shouldn't punish them because they didn't know something shouldn't have happened. Or should have happened. All's well that ends well, yes. The children were beside themselves with worry, but now they are as delighted as I am. Hey. And those are some loud fireworks. Wrong. Oh, just a moment of nostalgia. I know from first-hand experience that the moment of horror that comes from breaking an expensive piece of glass. A few years ago, I was helping Astin with one of his ventures as an art dealer. I was in desperate need of gills, so he hired me to transport a few pieces. That was when I dropped a case containing some valuable stained glass, and I'll never forget the awful sound it made. But rather than curse me for my clumsiness or fret over the money it cost him, his only concern was whether I'd cut myself on any of the shards. So you see, that's why I don't blame the children for their little misadventure. I suppose I'm following Astin's example. Actually, there's actually one more favor I'd like to ask of you. What could it be? I think if Astin were to see my stained glass, it might remind him of the days when there were things more important to him than money. Of course, I've tried various approaches in the past, and most of what I say to him goes in one ear and out the other. But if it were to come from someone else, such as yourself, he might be more inclined to listen. What? A stranger? Would you mind having a word with him? Yeah, I'll give it a shot. You're too kind. Perhaps you could start by handing him this flyer and going from there. I expect he's in the quicksand, where he carries out much of his business. His clients tend to be a bit more malleable when they're in their cups, it seems. Anyway, if you could rouse his interest in the festivities, we'll leave the rest to him. The quicksand? Ah! He's not at a table, he's just back, I guess. I remember you, Ben's assistant, yes? Or maybe he's yours. Either way, I appreciate you looking out for him. He needs all the help he can get. Though I must say, if you something that requires my attention, I'd rather you kept it brief. Yes, I know all about Ben's exhibit, thank you. Keeping my ear to the ground as I do, there's little that goes on Uldai that escapes my notice. So why did he send you to advertise it to me? Well, he wants you to be there. He wants to remind me of the good old days. Might have guessed it would have been something as soppy as that. A lot's changed since then, and he's still the same soft, daft sod he's always been. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, mind you. It's his sentimental side that always allows him to create such evocative works of art. But I always felt that he tried to make it a living out of it. But I always felt that if he tried to make a living out of it, he'd lose the very essence of what makes his pieces so special in the first place. Rather than expressing himself, have a pander to the tastes of the wealthy but fickle clients to turn a profit. That's why I wanted to earn enough for the both of us, so he'd be free to pursue his dreams. Well, he doesn't need me to pay for his bed and board anymore. Still around to help him if he falls on hard times. Damn, that's a good friend. And just to make it perfectly clear, it's not that I don't want to attend the exhibition. I decided not to go because if people were to think that Ben is associated with a moneylender like me, it would ruin his good reputation. But if he insists that I go, perhaps I can make the appearance without drawing too much attention. I'll think about it, would you? Oh, wow. That is a lot more considerate than I was expecting. Oh, look at this crowd. Oh, what did he say? I'll just have to see and wait and see. Whatever the outcome, I'm very grateful for all you've done. And I'm sure you'll be pleased to hear I've saved you the perfect spot from which to view the event. Is it on the stage? Oh. Cool. Front view. Cool. Hey, it's the kids. Yoshi P! His character. Citizens of Ul'dah, by my words be transported to the days before the calamity, a time when all hope seemed lost. As a lesser moon hung low in the sky, a wave of terror washed over this fair city, turning neighbor against neighbor, brother against brother. There, in the midst of chaos, she stood defiantly, and so our tale begins. Hearken now to the Sultana 7. Yeah, are we actually gonna get a flashback? That's really cool. Never mind. I guess if you really want to see what happened when the moon fell, you could watch End of an Era or Flames of Truth on YouTube. I'll probably link those in the description if you want to know what happened during those times. Astonishing. I could see the events of that fateful day in my mind's eye as vividly as I see you now. Such a profoundly moving performance would surely have touched the hearts of everyone in attendance. Hey, it's Astin. Astin, you came after all. An artist you may be, but subtle you are not. Now is not the time to take from your neighbor, but to proffer him the hand of succor. Message to all of Ul'dah, I'm sure, but also one meant specifically for me. I have to admit the Sultana made a good point, and it still stands to this day. Maybe it's time I thought about earning an honest living. I knew you'd come around sooner or later. And Astin, I can take care of myself now, so you needn't go to such lengths to support me. I'm glad to hear it, but let's get one thing straight. I didn't become a moneylender just to cover your expenses while you carved out a career as an artist. I just didn't want you to compromise your ideals and the quality of your work for the sake of keeping a roof over your head. Now you can concentrate on doing what you do best, bringing joy to people through your art. As for me, I'll find a better use for my skills. Perhaps I could go back to being an art dealer. That way you can create whatever works you please while I seek out potential buyers. Certainly beats making commissioned work pieces for some pretentious buffoon. You're suggesting we go into business together? Yes! My god, those fireworks are noisy. Unless you have any objections to working with a very recently reformed moneylender. Of course not. I know just where to start. For this, producing more paints featuring the Sultana and her 7 trusty followers. Imagine the streets of Ul'dah lined with stained glass depicting its illustrious history. The sparkling jewel of the desert will shine brighter than ever. This is more than I could have dreamed of. Of course, none of this would have been possible without your kindness, Sifu. You probably hear effusive words of praise quite often in your line of work, but I sincerely mean it. Thank you for all you've done. Oh, and there's one thing I meant to tell you. The Wandering Minstrel was, wondering if he could have a word with you. In fact, he has a present of sorts to give you. He should be somewhere nearby. Best of luck finding him. Oh, Yoshi! Mr. P, where are you? Does he actually just hang around in Ul'dah? I know he's in Mordona most of the time. I didn't know. Huh. Ah, you're come, as I knew you would. Jaban Tia speaks very highly of not only your skill at piecing together broken glass, but of your loyalty and compassion. Your virtues are many and varied indeed. Wonder if he's talking to the player here. Were it not for your contributions, the festival would have been without its centerpiece. My accompaniment of a song was not but a garnish, the fine dish that was our mutual friend's glorious work of art. Is this how you usually talk? Perhaps you will allow me to express my gratitude with another piece I have composed. Watch him spoil the next DLC here. What? Prediction correct? Oh shit, Heidelin, is that you? That's Dalamud. Well, goodbye everyone. This is the end. Welcome, Warrior of Light. Or should I call you Warrior of Darkness? You needn't be alarmed by these strange surroundings. Oh, it's the 7! That's so cool! Wait, what? Negrin! What are you doing here? Wait, that's not Thancred. What? Yoshi? Wait, who? Oh, it is Yoshi. This is a world that exists outside of your reality. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your wearied mind? Perhaps. Or perhaps not. Allow me to introduce myself. Yo! I am Naoki Yoshida! I did not expect this. It gives me great pleasure to finally meet you, brave soul who have chosen a life of adventure. Yo, it is Naoki talking to the player. That is amazing. Your travels have taken you to lands far and wide, and you have encountered people of all walks of life, each with their own ideals, hopes, and dreams. As time flows onward in a never-ending spiral, the course of history is guided by mortal hands. Though our existence be brief, our deeds echo for eternity. 7 years have passed since the Lesser Moon descended. Oh, has it really been that long since 1.0? 7 years since mankind rose from the ashes. It was a spectacle none shall ever forget. Or is it 7 years when 2.0 was released? It was a spectacle none shall ever forget, and that they live to tell the tale is cause for both celebration and reflection. When we cast our minds back, it is not sorrow that fills our hearts, but joy. For we have been afforded a second chance, that we may learn from the lessons of past. When we set forth towards new horizons, those with a thirst for adventure will lead the way. While there may be hardships and strife on the road ahead, there's no obstacle that we cannot overcome if we believe in ourselves and each other. Countless kindred spirits share our journey, and it is through mutual respect and understanding that we may create a better world. Future is what we make of it, by our words and deeds, and we'll forever be at your side, brave adventurer. You have our undying gratitude now and always. Time has come for this vision to end. Time for your eyes to open from this waking dream. Ever will we be watching over you, guide the realm unto peace and happiness, warrior of light and darkness both. Till next we meet. That is really cool. It wasn't Yoshi P, his alias, it was actually the director and producer. And lo, you are returned. Pray tell, are you left with pleasant memories, fleeting though they may be? As well, for such visions are wont to fade all too quickly. As the morning dew in the light of the rising sun, mayhap another of my verses would make a suitable gift ere we part. Wait, another one? Oh. In the wake of calamity, light descends once more to illuminate a world reborn, risen from fires of war. 'Neath the eyes of heaven, deception crumbles to dust. Those divided by malice, united by bonds of trust. On fields awash in crimson, battle raged far and wide. In the name of liberty, the courageous few turned the tide. Unto a distant realm, drowned in radiance unrelenting, strides forth the harbinger of night, iron will unbending. That's nice. For the sake of their loved ones, there are those who take to the battlefield, and yet those who remain behind have their roles to play. Protectors and the protected, providers and the provided for, principles upon which every nation is built. It is the duty of those who rule to ensure that these elements are kept in balance, even if they must face great peril. Words of the Sultana ring as true in the here and now as they did on the fateful day. May each of us take them to heart as we face the new dawn as one. Okay, that's cool. Oh, that's so neat. On the top right of the portrait. Very cool. You have unlocked the Jigsaw puzzle minigame. Open the choice test and in the end room to try this activity. Okay, that was a lot better than I could have hoped for. There's no greater honor than to bring joy through one's art, as our mutual friend is beginning to discover. Yeah? Alright. Yeah, I'm keeping this. Apparently you can't... Yeah, apparently you can't buy this. What he lacks in size, he makes up for in heart. It's disproportionately large axe. Very nice. Alright, cool. Well, that is the Rising for 2020. Hey, it's Lucian. But yeah, that was really nice. That's a really nice touch. I did not expect to meet the producer's avatar in a dream state, but new surprises every day, I guess. Hello again. Astin and I were discussing all sorts of exciting opportunities involving my artwork. He says that with the right strategy, customers will come to me and not the other way around. Can you imagine? Oh yeah. The more I think about it, the better off I am to getting out of the money lending trade. It's not as easy as it sounds, you know. Huh. Alright. That was good. That was good. But yeah. Alright, cool. I'm really satisfied from how that went out. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. I sure did. That was good jaunt through memory lane. And I will see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Keep safe, keep healthy, keep happy. Keeping on, keeping on. Alright, see you guys, bye.